Hello there, crafty ones. This is Pam, Pam's Paper Place, and I have completed the Farmhouse journal. And then in another video, I'll show some of the things, like a tutorial on a couple of tags or elements, and also how I make my vintage tape. I didn't really use it so much in here, but some subby had asked about that, so I'll be doing that. And then instead of getting together some shabby chic journal kits like I planned, I have a lot of Farmhouse things left, so I'm going to use probably like a binder, like a Better Homes and Gardens or some type of ring binder to do one or two Farmhouse journals. So, and then I'll get some shabby chic journals together. So let's get going. And I'll show you the finished flip through. I think this journal is spoken for, but I'm not sure. It's like about 9.5 by 6.5, I think. And yeah, it has like a vintage yo-yo, this cute little chicken, buttons. We have some applique daisy trim, buttons, fabric. It's a cluster, has 3 sewn in signatures with this ticking fabric binding. It has like some vintage quilt pieces, a cute little vintage sheet bow there, some more cute little elements and buttons, and then here's some pretty vintage daisy doily, because we have some daisies here. And then up here I have a safety pin, and it has a daisy button. I've got daisy trim, and then there's a little key hanging off the pin, and a spoon, and then like some retro fabric, feed sack fabric, and a tag. So and then we have some things at the bottom, and then it's tied with a vintage bed sheet for closure. And it's pretty heavy. It's a little chunky, but it closes nicely. It's not a gator mouth, so yeah, let's check it out. I guess you don't see the bottom here. Okay, so let's see what the best. Okay, I'll just show you this here because I won't be able to get it all in frame. That comes off the bottom here. And then we have a pocket. I added this button here, little gingham pocket. Added this farm, little fabrics and burlap, bed sheet, applique. And then we have this nut bread, Betty Crocker recipe, vintage card recipe. And this is a vintage bed sheet that I put down all the way through. And also there's a little eyelet ruffle. And I just stamped a little rooster, added some rickrack, and this book belongs to. Beautiful scrapbook paper, has a texture on another. This is a wider eyelet trim. And then there's a scrappy fabrics, a little chicken, and a little burlap cluster. Here we have a little diagonal pocket, and I showed how to make this little scrappy booklet. Here's some wallpaper that I had included in this Farmhouse journal kit, and then here's some folded over scrapbook paper for lots of journaling. And I really love this paper pad by Authentique. I think it's called Delicious. Has all the little looks like retro kitchen appliances. An old recipe from a cookbook. Added this Good Times, and then there's this little bit of lace here to reinforce this vintage 1940s magazine page. It has some really cool ads here, so I really like those retro ads or vintage ads. And then here's some, it says Forever Friends, and it tells about, you know, this is for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. And it's a really awesome book that has little stories and things. Very interesting read. So that flips out. And then I added an envelope here with sunflowers. And then I added washi tape, some sunflowers. It says today's the day. And then it's like an envelope, but I opened it up. I reinforced it with paper here, scrapbook paper. And then you could open this up, and then you have a little, this is Faith, Hope, Love, couple sheets of paper here. And then you can just put that back like that. So that's kind of cute. And then we have some lined writing paper. I did a little stenciling. This is the 1940s hairstyles. They had the coolest hair. And it was always so shiny and pretty. I like that. Reminds me of, like, you know, Grace Kelly. She was like my favorite actress. Her hair was always on point, and her clothes. Just awesome. Here we have like a picnic page, and I added this deli paper. Here's part of an envelope, and I added from a 40s magazine this recipe. Says Heinz makes everything better. And then here, this has little spoons on it and flips out for writing, and I fussy cut the chicken noodle soup out. And then we have a little playing card. I added Rick Rack 2 and a junior trivia card for fun. And the colors went. This fun paper. And then here's from a book. And it has sheep and farm. And it talks about maple syrup farming, different farming. This was from a vintage book, and it's LP gas ranges. That was kind of cool, went nice with this paper here. And on this side, I stamped, and this was like a digital paper. And then with the stamp that I used was this, what's it called? Huh? No name, but what's this say? Oh, it's a Stamping Up 2003. It's kind of cool. So you have kind of like lines. Here is a beautiful cluster that I got from my friend Marcy, Creators Call Shop. Look at the vintage fabric, and it went perfect with my journal. So I added that. Thank you, Marcy. This is what I cut out of a pattern that I had. I added scrapbook paper here, and then this is from maybe a knitting magazine. I put there. Then I added this straw flower vintage 1980 flower card, and then this was one of my collage papers, and I added a vintage bed sheet. These are from a curtain and a little applique. It goes in that pocket. Places to write. This is from a magazine with cross stitching, I think, or needlepoint. Here, this kind of looks neat here. This, I added this really pretty eyelet, a big piece of it. Hangs here. And then you can open this up, and it has a sewing pattern. And it looks nice up against here because I added a ruffle here. It just looks kind of pretty right there. And here's a wallpaper pocket that was in the Farmhouse kit. A lot of these things were in the Farmhouse kit that I sold. And here's a ruffle, and then a little yo-yo. Added little strings. I think I got that from RC too. I'm not positive. Added this really pretty scrapbook paper here. And this is a little recipe card. Looks good. And then I made a little booklet. And this is from a paper pack I fussy cut out. A little jar of vegetables of some kind. I stamped the best gifts come from the heart. And then I added this, which flips out different ways. Here, here, and then here. So I kind of like that. Goes in there. And then this is the middle of the first signature. I have this really cool spatula charm here. And then you can see the pretty vintage bed sheet ruffle and the bottle cap. And this was a scan of a patchwork quilt I had. And then I added a vintage ad here and added some lace and backed it on some black cardstock. And then this is from a vintage magazine, Butterscotch Crunchies recipe there from a vintage magazine. And then this is like a handwritten recipe, pork chop casserole. So I just added that. And then here I changed it a little. I had something else in this pocket, but I decided to put this in here. I covered this white paper with a pattern, and I showed how I had done this in the other video. And here I can do a tutorial on this too. I got an idea from Kathy Amara, and it was different. It was folded paper, but I decided to use an envelope, so I'll do a tutorial on this later, probably the next video. So this is an envelope that I folded, and I'll show you how I did it. Like I said, another video. So I just stitched around. Here's a little pocket. Here's a pocket. And then here's a pocket. And then this pocket, I took some from a sewing magazine, and then I stitched around it. And then I added some beautiful fabric. I have lots of fabric. I need to do some fabric bundles, because when I quilted, yeah, I've got bins full. So that's cute. And then I just added a little piece of paper, what you could write on here. And then I think this was here. And a little piece of play money. Actually, why don't we put that here? Or we'll put that here. And I'll put this little card in the back. Okay, and I'll show you how I did that in another video. I thought that went well with this sewing page here. From a book. And then from a stitching magazine. It's pretty. Here, this is a scan of one of my doilies, and then I stenciled. I thought this looked like a farmhouse. It's a poster. But it's Bay Harbor, Maine, I think, or what is this? Northern Virginia? I'm not sure. Anyway, that was pretty with the blue there. And then I added this little truck. I was thinking about adding some like dirt under there. I may still do that. Or, I mean, this is like a dirt paper. Not actually dirt, you know what I mean. So I may do that. Here's a digital paper, I believe, from Grammy's Keepsakes. I use a lot of her coffee dyed digitals. Then I used that stamp again. There's a vintage Coleman trailer range ad. This is from a farm book. So I can add a lot of these to my next journal. It'll be probably in a better Homes and Gardens or some type of cookbook like that ring binder. And then here's some of that deli check paper, which goes good with the other papers here and this. And this is an envelope. And if you didn't see my other video, I also had this one too. And this is, I'm keeping this one. And then this one I'm made to sell. And then here's from a vintage magazine. It has some corn and peas. And then here, this is so cute, from a children's book farm. And it says, now our baby chicks are hatching. The hen is under the eggs. I did some cute little, looks like little chicken scratch, and added a little jumbo rickrack here. And that goes here. So cute. And then with the little corn, there's the chicken's breakfast. I fussy cut just from yellow cardstock some little, I just cut out some pieces that look like corn there. Added them to the paper plate. So the chickens had some breakfast. All right. And then you can journal here. Right here is a little farm stamp. And that one is, if I can find it, some of the stamps that I used. Nope, can't find it now. Oh, wait, here it is. Okay, it's this stamp right here. It says Cartoon Barnyard. And it is by Embossing Art, so it's an old one, 1993. Isn't that cute, though? I love it. Thrifted it. Perfect. Here's some writing paper here. And here is some, it's part of an envelope here. And here is some writing paper right here. So that can kind of flip up. And that's part of an envelope. And then here is some more of that really awesome book page. And then they have like little baskets and things here. So I had some stickers. And I added a basket and some pumpkins. So it kind of went along with that. Perfect. I like how this looks at the bottom there. And then this can open up. And it says, let your light shine before men in such a way that they may see your good works and glorify your Father who is in heaven. And then here's the lighthouse. I love lighthouses. Michigan has so many lighthouses. I've always wanted to go around Michigan. It's in the shape of a mitten, and then they have lighthouses all around. It'd be cool to do a Great Lakes lighthouse tour. Here is a fabric flip. Sewed this little cow on, this vintage fabric, this fabric here, and then added some fibers. Here's part of a vintage cookbook. And then here I showed, this is the wallpaper. And then this is from that Authentique Delicious kit. That was pretty. You can add pictures to it or add paper to it. This is the same. And then added this pretty, it's like a crochet trim with a pretty little, oh no, that goes on, that's on this page. But it does look pretty right along here, doesn't it? I like how, you can see how it just water falls over. And here I just added to this wallpaper some snippets of fabric, lace, and a little yarn bow. This opens up, and that's the first signature, but see how it's still pretty flat, so you can still write in it. Okay, this is, now this is where the crochet trim is, and then we have that pretty flower charm. And look how cute, I love this. This is from that Authentique paper pad too, and they're cooking. And then this is from a digi, I can't remember who, so that goes there. Turn that. And here is a pocket here. An awesome farm scene. And then this was just from another book, Turkey Farming. Talks about farming. So it's a big side pocket. It's a little tight. Okay. Then this was part of a notepad. I put remember when, and then this told about I'm the heartland on this soil live those. I am the heartland on this soil live those who through the seasons toil. The farmer with his spirit strong, the farmer working hard and long, a feed and seed store, cap in place, pulled down to shield a weathered face, a face whose every crease and line can tell a tale and help define a lifetime spent beneath the sun, a life of work that's never done. Let's see, here's the scrapbook paper. It looks like soil, and I put that little tractor on top of that. And then look at, I put a little, it's like a sticker that's a crop of corn. So cute. And then this is part of a book. It looks like an old town hardware barbershop. You can kind of see through the stamp. And that is this stamp here that I used in the other book, which is American Gothic Museum Stamps. Cute. Thrifted. So we got the farmer and his wife there with the pitchfork stamp. And then here's a little book with a little dog and the cows. And it says, it doesn't take a lot of brain to round up a few silly sheep, the dog is saying. When I'm on guard, there'll be no foxes sniffing around the farmyard. And there's some chickens, and he's feeding the chickens. And then here, he's having breakfast, and here's a little sheep or lamb. Added this notes to that page. Little half-page writing, some computer paper. It was pretty. Here's a pocket here, or a belly band on this pretty textured paper, scrapbook paper. And I added a climbing rose, vintage 1980 card. And then here's, I added the flowers to this scrapbook paper, and then it tucks behind there. And here, I thought this was pretty. It looks like the scrapbook paper looks like a quilt. And then she has the same kind of colors in there. And tells more of the story, but you can also write here. And then here, some note paper. It says to do. Went well with this. And then this I moved from another pocket because I just liked it here better. And I showed how to make this. It's got stamps, pattern paper, that tissue paper, an upside down stamp, appliques, a little crochet flower, and some Chanel trim. And then here I stitched around, it's like a pattern of leaves, and then a little fabric cluster, and then a little button and some fibers. And then you can journal. Has some of that same colors in here. That was cute. Then this opens up. Love that book. So you have a lot of places you can write. And then, isn't that cool? Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. I love this book. And here I reinforce this doily here, so it'd be a nice sturdy tuck. And then this is a scan of mine of a patchwork quilt, and I added this little rooster sticker, and I stitched, you know, all around. And then, well, this is a digi from Tsunami Rose, and it has Psalm 103 verse 1. Praise the Lord, my soul, all my inmost being, praise his holy name. And then another Bible verse. I thought that was really pretty. Those colors in there. On this side of the doily, I had another yellow doily and then a little little duckling. And on this page, it's Old MacDonald Had a Farm. Little song. Here's part of a book. You can tell that spring is here by all the eggs. Tells more about March, what happens in March on the farm. This is a diagonal little pocket here. And I love this paper too. The surplus from Summer Garden. And then I have a strawberry card. Vintage 1978. I have a little strawberry vintage recipe card. Whoops. I didn't know if I wanted to add this here or not. I'm not sure. Yes, no. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Anyway, a place to journal. And then I used my Martha Stewart, this punch here, to do a little punch right here. And then on the other side of this, I have this vintage crochet linen pocket, and I brought it around to this side, and then I added some fabrics and a little button cluster. So I thought that was pretty. Then on this side, so it's a little pocket here, and this is the middle of the second signature. We have I think this is a Tim Holtz bottle cap or milk cap. And then this is a pocket here, and I have this burlap covered pockets here. Then I just added this little game card as a horse and a lady. I hope it's a good season and I get out of debt. If not, I'll have to count on some good luck. Sherry Decker, 1898. And this is a Tim Holtz. They look kind of like they might be on the farm. Added that here. And then in this pocket, don't you just love this paper here? The farmhouses and the horses. Give you a better look. It's awesome. I made a couple cards. This is a little booklet, added burlap, zigzag down. It says farm, sweet farm. And then you could write here. This looks like wood paper. And then here's the little, had the same color as this paper, note paper, so I stuck that in there. And then here's another of the scan of this quilt, and I did a little stitching all around and added family, farm. It's a fun pocket. And in this pocket, I have this little card here, and it has some buttons, vintage buttons on it. Sorry, it's hard not to hit this. And a little trivia, baby boomer trivia card. A little kitten playing card, Kittens on the Farm. A little family celebration, 1971 recipe card. And then this was perfect with the colors and the little rooster or chicken. So that's added there. And then I added this from a book. It's a little fox here. And I added a little chicken sticker. And on the guest check, this is from a digital, I think Nevermore Creations 17, has a little chicken. And then this is a cool farm card. So cute. Book page. Added a little coin sorter roll, paper roll. Music paper. That's pretty yellow, so I added some yellow rickrack. And this was a children's farm book, The Farmer and the Cow. Added that as a flip. This was from a needlework book, and it's a pocket. You could add something here. I did not. Here is another one of these awesome pages. It says, "Written in our hearts. You are our letter, written in our hearts." And then I have a ticking heart that I added to that, and you can read the story here. This is a scan of mine. Embroidery scan. Well, what did I have in here? Where'd it go? I had something in there. Well, I'll have to find it and add it. I don't know what I did with it. Okay. Well, I'll put something in there. And then on this side, it's more of that beautiful scrapbook paper. And then this is such a cute stamp that I have here. I thrifted it. It's "Please return my book," with that little mouse. Looks really old. And I'll show it to you. It says, "Little mouse, please return my book." And more of the other side of that. And then here, I can show you how I made this too. I don't think I showed it. I stitched across. It's got a little eyelet ribbon and this, so you could write a little piece of lace. And then here's some paper for writing. There's a little watering can here. And then it's a flip over tag. Oops. Oh boy. I'm sorry. Okay. There we go. So that's pretty there. Turn the page. And we have some more cute book pages, little farmhouse, more of the farm story, farm dog with the cows. We have some graph paper. Added that. It says notes. Here's the old country town, a bakery, diner. See the silo up there? Beautiful farmland. Added this little farm digi, little washi tape. Nevermore Creations. It says farm scenes. And then this is a scan of a vintage book I have about barn plans. And then this is a pocket, and I just added this. This is a copy of one of my, it's like a vintage iron-on appliques. Added that. And then on the side of this pocket, I have this really pretty lace, kind of a brownish lace. And then we have pretty gingham paper. And this is a little tag with a little pocket, roses in there. Added a little cluster with a flower. And then this is the third signature. And awesome lace. And then a little green rickrack to bring out the green in the paper here. And it's still laying down fairly flat. On here I did a little stenciling in the background. Added this farm to table. And then this was a digital scan of mine of a quilt that I have. Isn't that cool? I love this quilt. And then I added a little, this is a digital, some onions, and this, excuse me, there's a little scan of a collage board I did. Oh, I've got a tickle. And then I showed how to make this. It's a little fold out here. Looks like, you know, chicken wire. It's a little playing card. We have this cute playing card, farm boy and girl swinging. It says summer. And then that says country love and happy with a tiny, tiny little card there, blue card. Tucks there and there. We have this cool cookbook page. Uh-oh, something's sticking. And I added that. It says picture perfect. We have writing paper. This is a copy of a vintage sewing magazine page. I did some stitching zigzag down the side. This was that big stamp again that you could write. Did a cute little stamp here. Sweet pea. Isn't she cute? I don't know what it is, but she's sweet. So I added her. She's cute, and you can, you know, it's a pocket. You could put something in here. And that was from that paper pad. Isn't that cute? And I love this paper. That's from that Authentic Paper. Added this red gingham ruffle. And here's a pattern. And I thought it was cute. She's got gingham, and then there's red gingham here. And then this is from a magazine, sewing magazine, so I added that to write on. That's so cute. And then here's a very vintage music paper. How does barley, oats and beans, barley grow? And they're so cute in the cornfield. Sweet. And it has writing on it. Writing on here. And we have ledger paper. This is from the book. You could add more paper onto this if you wanted to. They're having a picnic. There's a little farmer there. I thought it was just cute. They're at the general store. And this says, I can wait all summer while the crops are growing and ripening. It's a field, and then here's the farmer and the tractor. And then I just added a little, this was a digital of a little seed packet. Getting kind of long here. Here's ledger and a little rooster computer page paper. Thought this is so cute. That's from that retro look Authentic Paper. Here's a little pocket. I added burlap. I added, I think I got this from Imperial Blues. It's, I think it's in Germany. It's an apple card, apple recipe. And I thought that was perfect because I got apple page here. I added some little apple stickers, a little jar. It says first place, so it's like they were cooking and they got first place. And then here is a tag with fabrics and burlap that I sewed around, as you can see. So that was cute there. And there's that little jar. The apple stickers. Okay, we're almost done. And then there's the other side of that scan doily, and here's just from a book. Thought it was cute with the checks. Kind of a recipe. So you got the checks here. Here's a little paper doily. It says, come savor the flavor. Here we have a jean pocket and a little flannel here, and it has a cute little tractor and a button. I like it says fancy apples, fruit growers. And then this is like a little folder, and inside it has like life is better on the farm. And then I did a little cluster with flannel, ticking, little bandana fabric, and eyelash trim. And a little tractor. here's the middle of the last signature, the third signature. I really like this one. Has this apple card here. And I just like the black and the reds here. I added appliques of daisies, and here's a little fussy cut from a paper pad with daisies and little sunflower. So don't you just love this red and the little ginghams? I added this, look at the little cow, Ontario, Canada. It's a vintage postcard from 1949. Then here's some cool scrapbook paper with some fabrics and a little button. And I love these little postcards. These kids are reading at the little farm school, or the old school, and it's Gal Pals reading lessons in Ontario, Oregon, 1939. That looked perfect in there. And there's the little apple card. This is the middle of the signature, and this is the one I left long, so if you wanted to add something you could, buttons or whatever. And then here I added a pinch of patience, a dash of kindness, a spoonful of laughter, and a heap of love. And then I tore this gingham paper out just to kind of back it. And then inside here we have apple bread, 1971, and then a couple recipe cards that went well with it. Okay. Then here's Tim Holtz little slotted kind of a pocket here. Cute little tag. Gingham paper. A couple little tickets, a little cutout, and then a playing card. And then this was a digital. And here's the little rooster stamp I have. Look, a little picnic paper, paper doily. It's a farmer. And then there's Lassie and the little boy. Added this ribbon trim to this big giant card. The ladybugs. There's some apples paper here. And then this is from a vintage magazine, and I fussy cut it, and then I added this paper here. And then and I added this really pretty trim and a time card, and I added vintage like fabric, and I made that little bow at the top. This trim is so pretty. There's the other side of that. Here's some more ledger, and this is more of that book. And I cut it like this. Such cute little scenes. There's the old town, and the story is talking about the grandmother to her granddaughter, and it says one of the babies was me, and it talks about her. There's the granddaughter and the little grandma. And then I added "You Are My Sunshine." And this is a large piece of ledger. And then we have some that vintage music, and I added this coconut tart recipe there. Little bottle cap of vintage, one of these stamp cards, golden 10 stamps. I added this here, and then here is the little envelope I think I showed how to make, and then there's just a little card here. But the colors kind of went pretty there. Oops. Whoops. Okay. Added some music paper here over the glue so it wouldn't stick. And then behind here, I added this paper flower, which can tuck, flower tucks right there. And here's one of those little seed packets. I added the bunny and the little cabbage. And then we have this pretty little trim here, right here, with a smocking. So we have a side tuck and one of these. It's another day in paradise, minus the paradise. It's kind of funny. And that beautiful paper. We got lined paper. Oh, I did a little collaging here. Lined paper. Did some stamping. There's the other side of that copy of the dress. I stapled some receipts. That's some more from a cookbook. Here's the last little page here. And I showed how I did this. Got a bingo stamped. Index card. A little tuck here. Fabrics and pattern paper ruffle. And then behind here, there's like a little recipe, vintage. And then you can see this really cool kind of lace ruffle from a curtain. And that is the Farmhouse journal. So I will let you know if this is spoken for. If not, I will be listing it in my Etsy. Thanks so much for watching, and you have a wonderful day. Make it great, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.